Thanks for staying tuned. This is still iBrand Daybreak, and it's time to delve into our discussion of the day. Entertainment, as we know it conventionally, has to do with music, comedy, as well as movies. And in terms of music, we know traditionally it's the musicians and the producers, as well as the sound engineers. But it must be said that over the last few years, we've had a new niche in that sector, and that's about the hype man. And right here with us is definitely a hype man. MC AKAY is here with us, and he's a native of Abeokuta and was born into the family of the Akinwales with the full name Akinwale Akinyinka Timitokbe. He is a Nigerian comedian, hype man, and master of ceremony, and he's working with one of the brands as well as official, hype man. Good morning, welcome to the show.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're excited to have you. You look good, by the way.
It's good to have you here.
Wow, he has an amazing profile. Only you're a hype man, a comedian, you're
a master of ceremony.
Are you a dancer too?
I talk.
You talk, and I'm sure you make enough money from talking.
Well, money.
And he's a hype man for one of the top liquor.
Yeah, top liquor.
So,
and we're expecting some.
We're expecting
something
bottles.
Because I'm a Christian and heaven is the ultimate goal. But something you were expecting some.
Really, was that what you said? Behind the scene.
If you sell a bottle of that particular brand, it's about. How much do they sell?
Oh, you know the price.
They're the ones.
I
make champagne. Did you guys make champagne?
Of course we do.
All right. Okay.
Let's start. How did hype come into the business of music? Gone were the days when it was just restricted to your musicians, producers, and sound engineers. Now the hype men are as important as your producers or sound engineers to a musician's craft, especially in terms of stage performance. So tell us about the journey of hype.
Well, personally, because I can't speak for a lot of people.
Okay.
Personally, hype has been something that we did not even know what the name it's called. I just enjoy the American culture when they come and say, what up, we turn up today, and then start watching these people and then stand before my mirror and I see those things. And the first time I was on stage to hype, I was just there to make noise, and then people were like, man, you're killing it. And then it was hype, so I realized that you can just be somewhere and everywhere is just down, sounding very cool, and then you just go there, use your voice and speak some kind of English that I don't even understand sometimes to make people,
energize the people.
Stand up, make them
dance,
take them out of that low mode to that high pace where everywhere is now lively. We just enjoy doing that. I started like 2009.
Wow.
Yes, and then hype culture wasn't really in Nigeria
at the time.
So we're just doing it to then you just do it, make noise about even when there's nobody in the hall, you're making people feel like it's going down, we're killing it already, and then people outside be like, I'm missing, let's go inside. That was it for us. But fast forward, I didn't even see it as a career. I saw it as
fun. Were you having fun?
I wanted to sell drinks. So I was just shouting to make people come in so that, come now, come buy a drink, And then I realized, fast forward, because I went to the other things, stand-up comedy, presentation, MC, hosting of events, So some new boys now came and started making some kind of noise and then adding some kind of rhythm to it and making money. We started this thing now. Coming back into it. So far, it's been wonderful.
Wow. Now let's talk about interestingly now, hype is one. When you listen to hype in the music, it's something that you're even looking forward to the hype. Probably you go to, those of you who go for parties.
You said those?
Probably we go for parties. Well, of course we all party.
And inspires you to spend more.
Well, not someone like me.
Those hype men.
Come on, not someone like me.
If
I don't want to spend money, I'm not going to spend money. But people who want to spend money, then it inspires people because when they are calling your name, they are hyping you. They are there's this latest one that happened. One for the DJ, one for the hype man. All of that thing made people now. It's now infiltrated into music, and we're one of those who started it. So at that point when you saw people making money from it, how did you feel as a human being, honestly?
Well, truth be told, hype didn't just start with people like us. It started with some men that, Yoruba people call them Gwelere. They come up with different artists, different Yoruba or mixed artists, and then they'll take the mic and, you know, you hear them say, Baba Biliki Lonjo, yeah, you know, they know how they do their things, you know. That was hype, you know, and then we now kind of funkified it, you know, before you now got to this level. So, you know, it's just value added when you are doing what you enjoy doing, and then someone comes up to spray. You know. Now, a lot of us get it wrong. Hype is not necessarily that thing that makes them give you money. Okay. You know, hype is something that makes them get out of their, you know, whatever mood they were when they were coming into, get into this space of fun. And then when they realize that this guy is doing it for me, I mean, I was down before I'm high. It just, you know, it's spiritual. Oh, it just makes them want to, you know,
spiritual ginger.
Okay.
Yeah, let me
Okay, just before you ask that, I know you do several other things, but let's just still talk about, you know, the what's it called, the hype of the thing now. But we'll go on a very short break now. When we return, and we'll continue the conversation. Please still stay tuned. Thanks for staying tuned. The conversation still continues, and MC AKAY is still here with us. So I was about asking before that, you know, that short break, that hype as a talent. You know, some people have the misconstrued notion of oh, it's just, you know, you shouting and what exactly is the skill required, you know, in terms of this business called hype, before we delve into other things you do?
Okay, so a lot of people hear it as shout.
Exactly.
But I don't necessarily have to shout before I hype.
Okay.
It's just that, you know, for the energy, I need to make my voice very, very energetic. You know, so some people actually miss it for shouting, because some hype men actually shouts. Yeah. So basically what is needed for, what you're expected to have as a hype man is confidence, boldness, and then as much as you can, speak at least well. Your pronunciations, you know, even most times, let me just say this secret, you know, if there are hype men outside, they would know that, oh, this guy said, you know, sometimes we say things that we're like, no, that's not what I wanted to say. But because we still carry it with that boldness, it feels like, this guy is bad, you know. You know, sometimes you want to pronounce some things and you're not pronouncing it well, but then
you just gloss over it.
You know? So basically, it's the boldness, and then make sure that you have some kind of words that will, you know,
stand out, that
would make someone feel like, what, you know, because right now it's easy for a lot of people, because there's now something introduced that we call lamba.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, so a lot of hype men now do lamba. Lamba is that thing that, you know, makes some guys come up with some Yoruba words or some pidgin words, you know, that, you know, it just gets to your head like,
what's that?
Did I just hear now? You know, and then he brings this attraction, I mean, to the hype man, and like, wow, this guy, you know. So all of those things, you need to stay and think of, what can I say to make somebody turn their head twice, like, you know. So you still need to be creative in that angle. Look at what's happening on social media, because that's where everything is. Then incorporate it into your content, and then come and make a hit at events.
Interesting.
All right, now let's look at merging your hype man, a comedian. You mentioned presentation. You're also a couple of things that you are. So now let's look at you merging all of these things, especially the aspect of comedy. Well, I'm trying to imagine how comedy and hype could go hand in hand. Someone sees this event as a hype man today, and seeing another event as a stand-up comedian, making the whole crowd laugh, and they're wondering where's the thing, and what's connecting these two professions? Okay,
so hype and comedy, they're like cousins. You know,
maternal or paternal cousins.
You know, because for me, it is just communication for me. So a lot of times when someone asks me, what do you do? I just cut it short. I'm a communicator. You know, because I'm a comedian, I pass messages. I'm a hype man. I'm a TV radio host. I'm a voiceover artist. Everything talk. I just say, the only thing I know how to do is talk. You know, enjoy, you know. So basic, I enjoy to stand in front of people to speak. You know, so if it is hype, to God be the glory, I would do it and you enjoy it. If it is comedy, you will laugh. Except even if your family problem is more than my joke, you will start
Interesting. But then,
you know.
comedy, how has comedy been for you, and what has been
How did
the
it
ups
start?
and downs of comedy? Yeah, firstly, how did they even start?
Yeah, so comedy, I've been a funny guy almost all my life, you know. But then I didn't know that this thing can actually bring money. You know, I was doing it just to attract the ladies, you know.
Wow.
You know, now you people like funny guys.
Okay,
So
she's in a better position to answer that.
that's why she's laughing.
I like
You
to
know,
laugh, actually.
I have friends that, you know, their parents had small things. So me that I was from that humble
Making-
background.
Yeah.
I needed something to, you know. So I mean, funny was good for me. So when we were in school, then the ladies would prefer to be around me because this guy will make us laugh. And then the other guys will come and impress them with money and all that. We will not get money, but we get talent, you know. So it was just fun for me. You know, my friends will call me and say, come and host my birthday. I'll be super excited. And then sometimes when I hear that, oh, I contacted someone else, no worry. I will even pay you to host your event because you just want the ladies to like us. And, you know, after school, no, while I was in school, I finished from Lagos State Polytechnic.
Okay.
So while I was in school, we got someone to host our event. And then the guy called him very late that he won't be able to. So I just said, what did you do? Let me try. And then I went up. I was so encouraged.
Oh.
You know, I was saying things and the people were laughing. Then I didn't have a routine. I was just saying things spontaneously and then people were laughing. And so after that event, I go home and I'm like, okay, I need to start putting it
Into perspective.
yes, doing my jokes. Okay, I'm doing this. It's a joke. Putting things together, and then God has been the backup. You know, so whenever we go out, we say one or two things. People laugh. You know, and
get paid.
after a while, my church, I cannot record my success story without appreciating my church. You know, they started giving me platforms. The biggest event in church. You know, you go up and then before you know it, all these big women say, I have an event coming up. I need you to talk to this man. He's going to call you for something. And before you know it, there's money in this thing. Will I not do more? So I started building my routines, and now I have a comedy Bible.
Oh,
Oh, great.
Well,
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before. Comedy
Yeah.
Bible.
Yes,
I think I should have one. So it will make me laugh all day, right?
Yeah, like it's
Wow.
personal. It's my Bible. You know.
It's not for us. It's
No,
just
no,
for
no.
you.
If I give you that, it means that I've sold.
Oh,
You can
okay.
you can make it into an ebook and sell.
No, I think it's a secret in
It's-
that
it's
Bible.
private, yes.
It's a privacy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You know,
Okay, so any ups and downs in the comedy industry?
Definitely.
Okay, please share.
Definitely. A lot of times, event planners, event organizers, they call comedians at the wrong time. You know,
Like impromptu.
I've had, no, not impromptu. For instance, if you're doing a night event, for instance, I was at an event, one church event like that, and they called me when everybody, the spirit was already down, and I was supposed to come and make them laugh so that they can wake up.
Wait, what's the spirit down? Is it the preaching made the spirit down, or
Yeah,
was it
you
an
know,
all night?
It was an all night.
Oh,
They had already done some kind of sober kind of, so
worship.
people were down, and then I was supposed to come and do my 19 minutes routine, and then I got there, and you know that performance you do, you know this joke is funny, you're doing it and people are not laughing, so I'm like,
Is it
What's
me
going
or
on?
is
and then
it them?
you're not explaining your joke. Yeah. No, as in, I don't say that place maybe say soldier come, people were not laughing. At the end of the day, I left, and the MC came and said, at least one clap. You know, I finished my performance before 1:30 a.m. and I just went inside the car. I couldn't go home. I was lying down like this. So I brought some props.
Okay.
Around 6 when I went to pack my props, I was just linking to go. One small girl just came and said, I like your performance. I'm like, thank you.
You needed that.
Thank you so much.
You needed that,
so
right?
much. You know, but then the same routine that I did the week before, I did at another event, and I got a standing ovation. So there are times when you crack your very funny jokes, and it comes back to you like, Bobo.
Just, sit
You know,
back.
so I mean, those times really make you feel like, is it maybe?
Am I
this one?
funny?
Maybe I'm not funny.
Wow.
You know, so
Okay.
I mean, every comedian has that bad time.
Still talking about comedy, considering it has taken a new turn with the skit making of a thing. I would like to find out, one, are you into skit making? Then two, do you try to incorporate that into your performance while on stage?
Well, skit making has come to stay. Yeah, and then the thing, some of us, I actually did a couple of kits until, the way my brand has been, if I start, after a while, I start getting money. And then it encourages you to, improve and all that, So I've done skits. I've groomed other guys that are doing big, some of the names that some of them actually started from my room, So I've started all of that. And, I'm a kind of person that I don't have an advisor. I'm the advisor of myself. So I've done skits that, it was as if I was forcing it. So I just left it. I said, Bobo, yes, you can write stories.
Sorry.
But a lot of times when I watch those skits, they're not funny to me. I can't lie. So I just said, let me leave it for now. I have fantastic characters that can go on social media, but I've not gotten them really, really right. But I celebrate the guys that are doing it really well. If you go on my page, you see my old skits. Some are funny, some are just there. The ones that are not funny, I just took them out. Not going to reduce my groom price. So, but basically, that's what's keeping a lot of people.
Okay.
Some people are really going through. Nigerians are going through a lot.
A lot.
So that really helps. That's why it's going really viral. That when you drop something, you just talk to somebody that is down. So that's another angle that is doing really well. And we might be coming back into it very soon. But right now, I leave it for them.
All right, now let's talk about still talking comedy. As a comedian, is there some projects you've been on and any projects that's coming up very soon that you may just want us to know quickly before we go into our career challenge?
Okay, so I've done a couple of projects. I started doing professional comedy shows in 2016. I had Comeducation, that's comedy plus education. Then I had the idea of putting some knowledge into my jokes, to teach somebody. So it's comedy and education, Comeducation. So I did that with Broken the Black, brought a couple of people. I did Laugh in Jesus' Name. I did a couple of events. And then in 2020, before the pandemic, I had Fornication, Funny Occasion.
Okay.
So
Please,
fornication.
it's very good. It's very good. You
had to.
You have to clear that because I don't know what that is. All right.
And that was the last time I had a major one. But in 2 months, I'll be having another major event, Fornication 2.
Funny Occasion too.
Yeah. Look, I had to place it right so that you don't judge me, even though you judge me.
You don't mind.
So, whatever it is, in 2 months, we're going to be having Fornication 2. And we're really going to do big.
Okay, that's nice. I mean, your resume is quite impressive, it must be said. Let's talk about your career challenge. Although you're still going to, make us laugh. You crack a joke. And
you hype me.
You need to hype. I mean,
you're going to hype me.
Even though the Remy is not here, let
us do something.
Let's do something.
You want me to defocus on my heavenly race?
I don't know what.
No, it's part of the heavenly race. In this regard.
It is well.
But what has been the career challenge? How has it been difficult in terms of probably acceptance by other comedians? Or trying to, have the audience accept your kind of joke? Because you talked about laughing Jesus, you've talked about comedy and education, Comeducation. It seems like you try to infuse maybe a bit of morality and education to your jokes. So that niche you've carved for yourself, rather, how has it been accepted? What's the challenge really? Or what are the challenges?
I feel that you attract what you present. A lot of times my base is like where I started from is church.
Okay.
So there's no way people, my audience would not relate with something. I can make joke out of some scriptures, out of some laws, like Isaac Newton law of motion. I have a joke around that, so it makes people accept me. And I am not really chasing after fame, chasing after
excellence,
money. Of course, money.
Money, you understand? So when you crack or when you attract some level of people, there's some people that you don't really look at. Like for instance, you will hardly find me cracking jokes in the club, except I'm hyping. But corporate set of people, educationists, so you just do all of that, and thank God they've been accepting. Now, the people on the street, like my own people where we came from, they AKAY, you're doing well now. Come to Mushin and come and do something. You know. So you drop something, not like you're not funny. They're not getting it because they are not on that distance. So it happens that those times where you go for some events and it just feels like I better call the next person. You know. So it happens and I'm not surprised. It just feels like I'm at the wrong place.
Okay. All right. Now, quickly, let's wrap up. We have while you're talking, but it just seems like there's a lot of talents that come up from Mushin, Ajekune, all these places. Because if we had someone who amazing singer, you see mentioned Mushin, a couple of people, and I'm wondering what is that thing in Mushin? Maybe I should go live in Mushin for a while. But see if that if they won't beat me up and collect my phones then. Okay.
Don't get that. That thing is scam.
Oh, okay. Well. Yeah. Then on lighter note, but now let's look at as we wrap up. If you were not a communicator, what other career would you have chosen aside being a communicator?
Well, if I wasn't a communicator, I think I'll be doing business.
What kind of business?
I'll probably be selling cars.
Okay, well, interesting. Okay. Now, this is where the career challenge comes in. You're walking in an elevator, you meet the Margaret Opper, the CEO of one of the biggest companies in Nigeria and Africa, fast rising, and then you need to pitch this bulletproof car for her kind of stature and person, and then you're seeing her in don't forget she's going for a meeting, you're on the same elevator, you bump into her, and you need to pitch your business to her in 30 seconds to 1 minute. Just a busy woman that does not want to waste her time, and you need to pitch that bulletproof car for her kind of business to her. So what would you tell her?
Okay, Ma. I feel I saw you come out from that car and I realized that your profile, I mean, security is key. You know, I have a car that suits your status and then your movement, you know, because a lot of people will be after you because of what you have. I feel that this is more befitting. I have a car that, you know, once you come into it, there's comfort, there's convenience, and then the safety, the security is 100. So if you don't mind, I'd like to bring it to your office or bring it to your, so that you can have a feel of it. And I believe that you can be able to do business with us.
But yeah, let's give him. But then he didn't introduce himself.
So we'll give him six over 10.
You didn't tell me your name of your company. You didn't give me your card. You didn't give me your card. You didn't ask for my card. So I'm wondering, you're meeting the very busy woman. Oh, well, then you did amazing.
Well, that was amazing.
Wow, that was amazing. He's actually a communicator.
Definitely, and I'm sure we'll do better once he hypes us now or cracks a joke. So you have the floor.
Okay.
I say hyping me if you curse me. I'm not doing this stuff.
Let me cause, you know, hyping. When I see money, gingers my hyping. You know, but
see, if you abuse me, I'm scared.
Let me just share my testimony. Okay. You know, so a lot of times before now, my father, very nice man, until somebody came into government and the whole thing changed. You know, a lot of times when I go to me, I say, Daddy, please, I need 10,000 naira. He will give me. But when things now change, it became something else. You know, my father would just shout at me and make me feel like I'm not his child. You know, so I now learned the scope. Now that scope is what I want to teach you now. You understand? You know, Yoruba family, they used to tell us when you sleep, they bring something for you in the dream. Don't collect it. And say, are you an Itidioma mommy? You know? So we went to sleep. We used to sleep around 10 o'clock. Went to sleep around 12:30 in the midnight. I just shouted from my room. Yeah! Shouted. He ran to my room and said, what happened? I said, Daddy, they wanted to give me 20,000 in the dream. He said, don't collect it. Tomorrow, so my father gave me. I said, you're in trouble.
Let me say, okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for that.
I don't know if I should, if that would work, though, but I would have done that. But then my family will not even work, so don't bother yourself. But thank you, we appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
You're an amazing person, you have an amazing profile, and of course, the sky is your starting point. We believe that. Thank you so much, MC AKAY. That was MC AKAY right there. An amazing communicator, hype man, comedian, whatever you want, just reach out to him and then he'll be waiting for you to get or to give you all needs in your party, so don't worry about that. We'll take a very short break now. Coming up next, we have another interesting segment for your viewing pleasure. We'll be right back.